Well, I don't know if it's just about a mental issue or not. We always prepare the games in the same way. It is true that we haven't had the starting that we wanted. We know how difficult was the game against them. We know them very good. And we were prepared, to be honest, during the week and also how we wanted to start, what we wanted to provoke, especially here at home with our fans, knowing that they've been playing also many games on the road. So, but sometimes things happen in a different way, and we need to learn from this experience. I think players, they've tried, so we have nothing but to say for sure. They've been fighting until the end, and but we couldn't score today as we did maybe in other games.
Did it boil down maybe to just some execution moments, some marking in the box, that kind of thing?
Yeah, it could be. We know how dangerous they are, especially the forwards. We know Esther, we know Portillo, we know all the players how they perform, especially in the box. So we know that those situations would be a key point today, and we haven't had that aggressiveness that we've had other games. But again, I think it's not just about that. Key factors during the first half, that early goal changes everything, to be honest, and from there also then the PK. So I think it was a lot of circumstances that weren't maybe against, and we need to learn again from those situations, because it's sometimes something that you are not expecting, but you need to know how to react and how to face also those adversities.
Over to Luis and then over to Emily.
Coach, hablas de verdad de la reacción del equipo. El equipo nunca se quitó, o sea, lo intentó hasta el final. Pero ¿cómo quizás se puede manejar un partido desde un gol tempranero?
Bueno, al final, pues intentar volver rápido al plan de partido, ser fiel a lo que el equipo tenía que hacer, tanto con balón como sin balón, y independientemente pues, de haber encajado un gol, que al final es algo que nadie espera en los primeros minutos. Pero bueno, creo que pues eso, ser fieles a lo que el planteamiento era en este caso, y a partir de ahí seguir con la confianza bueno, que a veces necesitas minutos para sentarte en el partido y confiar en que el equipo es capaz de generar ocasiones. Lo hemos demostrado ante todos los equipos, y al final el equipo también sabe sufrir en muchas ocasiones, y también es cierto que el equipo pues nunca se rinde. Hoy ha sido un claro ejemplo que a pesar de tener el resultado en contra, hasta el final lo hemos intentado y hemos probado también diferentes opciones con diferentes jugadoras, y el equipo lo ha intentado hasta el final.
Quiero preguntarte, ¿verdad? Quizá a lo mejor si tienes algún comentario, si no lo voy a entender, o sea, la situación al final con Jonatan, o sea, quizás fue producto quizás del mismo frustración de quizás el plan de trabajo no salió, o sea, si me puedes comentar algo sobre eso.
Bueno, lo único que al final te puedo comentar en este sentido es que estoy seguro que él, pues bueno, al final no es fácil, ¿no? En esas situaciones donde hay a nivel emocional es un momento delicado, al final hay mucha tensión en un banquillo. Yo empatizo con él porque al final sé lo que es, y bueno, al final pues hay muchos condicionantes que te pueden hacer en ese sentido pues bueno, tener una situación así, pero bueno, al final todo queda ahí, en ese sentido tranquilidad, y bueno, la semana que viene pues por desgracia no podrá estar, pero bueno, al final es, como digo, una situación más del partido, y tampoco creo que haya que darle mucha más importancia.
Over to Emily and then Annie.
Adrian, thanks for taking the time. Understand this question might not be one you fully can answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway, and then one maybe you can answer. Curious what went into the decision for Hatch to not come in until halftime, and then the importance of Hatch's presence that maybe could have impacted if she had started.
Yeah. Well, we know that Hachi had a concussion last week, and she was limited in terms of minutes, so she could have just played 45. And in terms of game plan, we were expecting her to have a better impact in the second half, also thinking about the game plan that we wanted to have. For sure, she's giving us a lot, and we always prefer her to start, but today also, according to what were we thinking about the opponent, and have something also on the bench to have maybe a threat for the second half. So that was the main reason. So we've decided to bring her in the second half.
And then just a quick follow-up from your perspective, what happened with Jonah on the sideline there at the end that brought about the red?
Yeah, I was answering that before. I mean, nothing big. We need to understand how difficult it is, being a head coach, trying to take many decisions in that moment, and sometimes you have a lot of things that you cannot control. And the game, we were trying to help the team in the best possible way, and he was just trying to protect our players or coaching staff, but nothing else. So nothing wrong with that, but unfortunately he won't be able to be next week, but he will be helping the team for sure. So nothing else.
Over to Annie and then Williams.
Hi, Adrienne. Thanks for speaking with us. I had a question about another substitution, which was Croy Bethune getting her first minutes. I guess, can you tell us a little bit about the decision and whether that was kind of planned for her to come in towards the end, and whether you had any thoughts about, giving her more rest time considering the game state at that point?
Well, we had the green flag with her, like she's available now just for 15 minutes. So we knew that she could play today some minutes, but also we also know, and she knows, that she needs a little bit more time to be with the team, to get the rhythm. But today we've decided to bring her just to see where she is in terms of playing a game. Since a long time ago, we've been seeing her training, and we've decided that because we also thought that it was important for her to be with the team, to get those stimulus again, those situations playing at home. So now we have a better picture for the next weeks, and it's positive that we can see her again playing a soccer game, and I think she's going to improve soon for sure.
Thanks.
Williams, and then we'll wrap up with Carle.
Hi, Coach. Los 3 goles vinieron por la banda izquierda. Luego del ingreso de los atacantes, no hubo una respuesta segura de nuestra defensora, que es la central, la mexicana. ¿A qué se debe eso, que los 3 goles básicamente empezaron casi por la banda izquierda? Luego no hubo respuesta a esos goles. Posiblemente el cansancio de los partidos anteriores, o qué está pasando con los muchachos.
Bueno, al final no hay un único factor cuando encajas un gol o cuando pierdes un partido. Somos conscientes de que el rendimiento hoy, pues bueno, no ha sido el esperado, y bueno, yo creo que al final el equipo ha intentado buscar soluciones después de encajar el primer gol, el segundo y el tercero. Pero bueno, hoy pues desafortunadamente no ha podido ser. Yo no creo que sea solo un tema de cansancio. Al final, en un partido de fútbol hay muchos factores. El hecho de encajar, yo creo que pronto también te condiciona mucho el resultado, la dinámica del partido. Luego ha habido un penalti también que nos ha, de alguna manera, descolocado un poco. Pero bueno, el equipo, a pesar del resultado, que parece ser que ha sido pues a lo mejor un resultado muy abultado, yo creo que el equipo hasta el final lo ha intentado, y eso es positivo porque no es fácil, intentándolo hacer de diferentes maneras. Creo que el equipo también ha generado ocasiones. Podíamos haber marcado al menos un gol o 2, hoy no ha podido ser, pero bueno, cogerlo como un aprendizaje, como siempre digo, las derrotas, y a partir de ahí intentar seguir mejorando.
And we'll wrap up with Carle.
Thank you very much for being here. I know that you plan towards all these games. You do as much as you can, but is there something that you felt you could have done differently today to have affected the outcome?
Sorry, say again?
So is there anything you felt you could have done differently today to affect the outcome?
Yeah, for sure. I think, in terms of pressing, probably the first half or the first minutes, we weren't adjusting. When we were just pressing high, maybe they were progressing through the left. I think we were jumping with Makenna and Mandi in the first line, and also Gabi sliding a little bit there, and then Tara. And sometimes we were just jumping a little bit late, and they could progress, I think, easy from that side, and then from there it's difficult to be organized again. And then also, once we were recovering the ball back, again, we need to know how to be a little bit more patient with ball, try to move them a little bit more, try to switch more times, because when we were playing in their half, we could have had maybe more patience to build up and to create better chances. So I think those situations we could have been a little bit better.
Last question. Just talk to me a little bit about Gift Monday. She just came in. What is it that she brings for your team that is different from what you have right now?
Well, she's bringing, I think, experience, goals. She's a young player. We all know that she needs to improve. She needs to get adapted to this league, also to the rhythm, the type of opponents that we are facing. But she's giving us different profiles in terms of how we want to attack. She's always ready to thread behind. Also, she can drop to receive in between lines. We know how good she is heading. So, and just attracting the center backs with her position. So we are just working with her because she needs time to be honest, to know the league, to know the players, and she's improving fast. So we are happy with her.
Yeah, I think for us it's just being on the same page every game. Like when we start games, like like the first 15 minutes are huge, last 15 minutes, start of every half. So I think for us it's just being on the same page and learning from this experience. Like, we never want it to happen, but it's early on in the season, learning from it, building off of it, and just not letting it happen again.
Yeah, I just think there was a lack of energy. It's something that shouldn't happen as a team, but when collectively there's a lack of energy, sometimes you can immediately see it. And it took us a while to get into the game, which is unfortunate for sure.
Was there a feeling, I know from talking to Aubrey, that it was kind of like they scored kind of their only good looks all ended up as goals, and then at the other end you had some good looks that didn't go in. Is it kind of just one of those games at this point, or is it kind of there's more to it than that?
Yeah, I think, it's unfortunate. I think before they scored, I had an opportunity, and I think, if we capitalized on those opportunities, or if I could capitalize on those opportunities, it changes the game. So I think for us, it's just finishing every chance we get, or just being a bit more clinical, because we are creating opportunities in, all of our games in today's game. So I think just being more clinical across the board and paying attention to all the little details in the attack and on defense, I think will help us in games.
Over to Carle.
Coming off that high from last week, how disappointing, has it got to be that you come home and then you give this away?
Yeah, this is always the danger of a big win like that, such a high, is that sometimes there can be a counter performance next week. That's definitely not what we set out to do. I think we came into this game wanting to win so bad and prepared to. But at the end of the day, this is sports. This is what happens. This is Game 6. So there's a lot more games to be played, and we will work hard, regroup, and be ready for next week.
And last season, Audi Field was a fortress. Away, it was a different story. Now, it's early in the season, I know, but it seems those things have reversed. Now, what do you need to do this season to make sure you can return Audi Field back to the fortress it was last season, while still keeping the performances on the road?
Yeah, I think we put a lot of emphasis, noticing that last year away we didn't we didn't handle our business how we wanted to. So I think we've put a lot of emphasis on that. So I think for us it's reflecting on this game, learning from it, and then putting the same emphasis that we put on away games at home, because, we love our fans, we love Audi Field. So I think for us it's just protecting our home and not letting, something like this happen again.
Thank you.
Thomas?
Obviously, when you're getting points with the injury list that you have, it's a very positive narrative of being able to overcome the adversity. When you have a match like this, how much do you kind of have the mentality of, no matter who's on the field, we should get the results, versus knowing that you have reinforcements coming eventually, a lot of talent who wasn't available, and perhaps taking that into account when you think about a match like this and how it went?
Yeah, I think we're lucky because we do have a very deep squad, and everyone that's on the field we trust. Every single girl on the field today, I was like, we got this together, It is cool to know, though, that we have so many more players to come. and that we can put out so many different starting lineups throughout the year, and that eventually it's going to happen.
All right, we'll wrap up with Colin.
Yeah. So, as bad as that first half looked, how heartening was it for you as a group to see the performance you put out in the second half?
I think honestly it was good for us. We came back out and we came out together, which I think was huge. And I think, going in at halftime, it could be super defeating. You're down 3-0 and it's like, oh, this game's over. And I think we put up a good fight and we continue to work hard. So I think that that's huge on us. But now it's just, being clinical, finding ways to get those goals back and, not giving up goals in the first half. But we couldn't change that. But I think, the energy in the locker room was much better in the second half. And I think it carried out onto the field.